All right, well, we made it through another week. Thank goodness. We're at the weekend again. Can't believe how fast this week went. It's crazy, crazy fast. I just knocked my iPad over. Let me try to get it set back up there. So, all right, tonight, this is pretty easy tonight. We just got one break, and it's a half case of 2017 archives, which is 5 boxes. So here's what we're going to do. We'll put the spreadsheet up in a minute, of course, so that everybody can see what teams you have in the break. But before we do that, because this big box is kind of in the way, I'm going to take out all 10 of our boxes, and then I'm going to label them on the end, and we're going to let random.org decide which boxes we open tonight. Because I think, there's a case hit in here. So since there is a case hit, I think the most equitable way to do it is to, have a completely random process. Not only the case, of course, which was sent at random, then whatever cards are in the boxes are random. So we're randoming it up again for a third time by deciding which half we're going to open tonight. So let's do that, and then we'll put up the spreadsheet to see who's in the break. If I can get myself on the right page, I might be doing okay here. Tell you, see what happens when I take a night off? I can't operate my equipment. All right, so the first 5 that come up are going to be the 5 that we open tonight. And I better write that down because I will not remember them. 1, 10, 6, 5, and 8. All right, 1, 10, 6, 5, and 8 are the boxes that we're going to be opening tonight. And let's go ahead and take a look at our spreadsheet to see who's in the break. And you hear my little kitty down there getting ready to start getting into it with his sister, I guess. Yeah, they just ran by me full speed. All right, so we have 5 boxes of 2017 Topps Archives Baseball. That is a half case. And this is break number 7. We have 1 half case left, which will be break number 8. I think I've already got it listed. And then once that one is done, that's the last one that we have. So we're wrapping up with archives. But that's all right, because it means we're getting ready to come into museum collection, which comes out on Wednesday. Although I'm not going to start breaking it until Thursday. So we had a couple, 3, I guess, actually, unpaid teams in there. And as long as payment comes in for that, you're going to get whatever cards you are due. It just had not come in as of a couple minutes ago. The 2 teams that say no bids buyback, well, that's fairly self-explanatory. Just nobody wanted them. They're orphan teams. So anything that comes out for the orphans will end up staying here with me and joining Card Mountain, which I know I say all the time I'm going to get sorted, and then I somehow never do, but I really am going to try hard to get that done, because it is about ready to just topple over into the floor. It's getting quite large, that pile of cards. Quite large. All right, let me just make sure I have our correct boxes here. I have 5, 8, 6, 10, and 1. Okay, yeah, we're good. So let's get into this and see what we can find. What I have noticed so far with archives, I'm going to have to scoot that over a little bit, is that probably about half the boxes are going to have our 2017 rookies as the signature hit. At least that's been that way up to this point. And then probably the other half is more, our older veteran players and or retired Hall of Famers and stuff like that. So that's been what I've noticed so far. We'll see if that holds true again with this case. And the other thing I noticed, which is interesting, is that for Moncada, his straight-up rookie cards are in the White Sox uniform, but his autograph cards are in his Red Sox uniforms, because of course he got traded. So that is to 199 with whatever you want to call that. I think Topps calls it light red. I tend to call it peach, but I'm going to try to do better and remember to call it light red. So the only thing I could figure is they must have already had the cards where he's a Red Sox, must have already been signed before Moncada got traded. It's the only reason I can think of why he would be half in the set in his Red Sox uniform and half in the set in his White Sox uniform. But I think all of his autographs in archives are in the Red Sox uniform, which is kind of weird, considering that all of his other cards are not. Yeah, it only took me, what, 3 cases before I figured that out. Something like that. Yeah, about that. Somewhere in the middle, somewhere towards the end of case 2, I think I was kind of thinking, that doesn't seem right. And then by case 3, I'm like, oh yeah, now I see what's going on. There's a mini for Pedroia for the Red Sox. Oh, and the Senators cards, I think the only Senators card that we have is Killebrew. Of course, that goes to the Twins, because that franchise, the Senators, is the current Minnesota Twins. And cards always stay with their franchise. Thought maybe that was a short print, but it isn't. The other thing worth noting, the Derek Jeter retrospective cards have a nasty little habit of sticking to the card in front of them. So if I don't find it going through here, like if you don't see a lot come out, I will find them in the sort, but I try to find them as we go through here as well. All right, so our first hit is up for the Blue Jays, and that is not numbered. That's just a regular hit, a non-numbered hit. But still, I'm sure the Jays are glad to have it, right? All hits are good hits. That's my theory anyway. Always better to have a hit than not have a hit. I wonder if that, I guess not. I thought maybe that Herzog was a short print, but it's not either. You would think after this many cases I would have learned all the short prints, but there's quite a few of them. And it is hard to retain them all, especially when it seems like there's a new baseball product coming out every week. You know, then you gotta, then they all start getting confusing as to what's a short print in one versus another. Or maybe I'm just not bright enough to retain it. I don't know. Maybe it's a combination of the two. This is always possible. So while I'm thinking about it, shipping on this, I expect, there's one of our Jeter retrospectives. This stuff will most likely get out the door on Tuesday. If I can get it to you sooner, I will. There's always a remote possibility that it slides over into Wednesday, but my best estimate at the moment is I think it will probably go out on Tuesday. So I know Monday I have got appointments starting early in the morning, and I'm pretty much shot the whole day on Monday, which doesn't leave me any extra time to slide in for packing and shipping. But I did get a bunch out today. Got a lot out yesterday, a lot out today, and a bunch more packaged up, ready to go tomorrow. Just have to get the labels printed. So if you haven't gotten, if you've got some stuff you're waiting on and you haven't seen a shipping notice yet, you will probably see it tomorrow on the vast majority of things. There might be one set that won't go until Monday, but I think most of it will go tomorrow. You guys are so quiet tonight. It's that work week hangover, right? It's got us all Takes a minute to get in the swing of the weekend. Oh, that's a nice little auto for the Braves with the Steve Avery. And that's the first time we've pulled Steve Avery as well out of any of the archives that we've opened. So cool little hit for the Braves. I like that. Now I know we're looking for, I know that might be a short print. No, still not. I could have sworn that was a different picture for that Schwarber, but I guess it wasn't. I know at least one person is looking for some Bryce Harper hits for the Nationals. I don't know what anybody else is looking for. So if you guys have something that's specific that you're looking for, throw it up in chat. We'll put it out into the universe. That is to $199 on the Lou Boudreau. Basically, any of them with that color border, light red, or whatever we're calling it these days, will be to $199. The light blue border will be to $75, and if we are lucky enough to pull a dark red, that will be to $25. Oh, this Moncada is numbered. I didn't catch that there for a minute. That is, does that say 1 of 75? Yeah, number 1 of 75 on the Moncada Mini. And that one for the White Sox, because it's not autographed. That's only his autograph stuff in here that seems to be for the Red Sox. Ah, there's another Jeter. There will be a bunch of those little retrospectives coming your way if you have the Yankees. I think there's a total of 23 or 24 in the set, and 2 of them are case hits that, you know, only fall 1 per case. All right, box 1 is in the books. Rolling into box number 2, which is actually box number 8 from our assortment, but the second box that we're opening. Well, actually, I figure somebody's probably looking for Aaron Judge in here too. So there's probably 2 things I know we should be floating out there into the universe. One being the Bryce Harper for the Nationals, and the other being the Aaron Judge for the Yankees. And we've pulled Aaron Judge out of archives a few times, so he's definitely in here. Lenny Randle for the Rangers came up right away out of this box. Tell you what, I'm going to move this stack onto the sorting part of the mat. Actually, it's a whole other mat, so we can free up a little extra space. Yeah, the sorting is the part that makes shipping go slowly, because it takes, as you might imagine, it takes a while to sort when we do big groups of cards like this. That is the most time-consuming part of all of it, really. I have a little bit of a system down, though, so getting faster. You see, sitting back there in the back, we've got some Topps Series 2 Jumbos. We've opened half case of that so far. We've got, I think I've got at least another half listed, if not 2, because we got a few of those to run through and open up. And the Jumbos each have one autograph and 2 relics in each of the Jumbo boxes. So a little bit more bang for your buck than the straight up hobby box anyway. I never buy a lot of Series 1, Series 2, or Update. Usually just a little bit, because it's, you know, we spoil ourselves with some of the hits we get out of these others, and then it doesn't seem like it's as much, you know, when you get into Series 1 and 2. There's Joey Votto for the Reds to $1.99. Poor little Reds. One of these days, we'll get back to glory years. Tony Womack is coming out for the Diamondbacks. So we found both of our hits pretty quickly in this box, which means the rest of it's not nearly as much fun to open, is it, once we've seen the hits. I tell you what, we pulled a really nice Nolan Ryan out of here the other night as our case hit. It was one of the minis that was autographed, and I think it was to 30 or 35. It was quite nice. So we pulled Ozzie Smith out of one case on a mini that, again, was low numbered, although it might have been to 75. Then we pulled the Nolan Ryan out of one. I don't remember what our other case hit autograph was. I think it was a redemption, maybe. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was a redemption. Maybe for Lindor, but I'm not 100% sure of that. Oh, that's going to be a short print, I believe. Let's take another look at it, but I think this Phil Rizzuto. Well, maybe not, but yes, I mean, it almost has to be. It's not labeled as a short print on the back, but, you know, there's no facsimile signature on it, so it's pretty much got to be a short print for the Yankees. Most of the short prints, not every single one of them, but a lot of them, you know, that little code Topps puts on the back of their cards. On a lot of the short prints, in archives anyway, it will say it will end in 99 versus something else like 82 or whatever for the regular card. There's another Jeter retrospective. You probably knew that already, but in case you didn't, now you do. But that one was not marked 99 on the back, but it's definitely a short print because there's no facsimile signature on it. So hey, there's Babe Ruth to $1.99. I don't know if you guys saw, you probably did, or probably if you break with me often, you might have heard me talking about it when it happened. But the Mantle family, Mickey Mantle's family, signed a deal with Panini. So Mickey Mantle, who of course has been a staple in Topps cards for years, is going away, going to be exclusive to Panini. Starting, I think, with Optic Baseball, which is coming up in July. So, yeah, in fact, I don't even, you know, didn't Topps, I think Topps even retired, like, the number 7 from its cards. Like, I don't think Topps has any cards numbered as number 7 in honor of, you know, Mickey Mantle. They've had that exclusive for a long, long time. But not anymore, because Panini must have outbid them. Whoops, I thought it was about time for another Jeter, and there he is. He just stuck to the back there. And that one, that doesn't appear to be our case hit. I think that's just one of the regular retrospectives. All right, let me set these on the sorting mat, and then we will get into box number 3 of 5. If I can, oh, don't know why I make such a mess getting this stuff out of here. Really shouldn't be that hard, right? I mean, like, how hard is it? Just take the packs out and set them on the table. But somehow I managed to get them all stacked crooked and crazy. Trying to think what other stuff we've got coming up besides museum collection. I mean, in the next short little bit here. Allen and Ginter comes before too long, although that may also be July the 19th. There's a couple of different, there's like 4 or 5 different things that come out July 19th. I think there's a couple of football, or a couple of baseball, a basketball, and a new football, that they haven't had before. There's a little Bryce Harper mini. In fact, you guys are probably familiar with Pantheon because it's been in baseball before, Panini Pantheon, and they are bringing that to football now. I'm pretty sure the release date for that is the 19th of July. And there's a new basketball the basketball that comes out that day is also new, although, what is the name of it? Can't remember the name of the product. Shoot. Well, anyway, we got a lot of time between now and July the 19th. I'm sure I'll remember it somewhere in between. And then Allen and Ginter and Optic, all on that same day. Oh, that's a nice little hit for the Pirates with the Tony Sinha. That's cool. Pena. What did I say? I don't know what I said. But I don't think I said that. I don't think I said his last name. I think I was like half saying, I don't know what I was saying. I think I was about ready to say John Cena. You know, the wrestler. John Cena. Clearly not the same. So what happens when my brain's not on caffeine, right? Can't keep my athlete straight. Yeah, it's probably, you know, kind of weird, I guess, a little bit that I'm such a Steelers fan. But, I mean, I don't object to the Pirates. I like the Pirates okay, but I'm really more of a Reds fan for baseball because they're more in my backyard. But yet I'm not at all a Bengals fan, and they're right in my backyard too. So, I don't know, weird. That is to $1.99 on the Felix Hernandez for the Mariners. Maybe because we went to Reds games, but we never went to Bengals games. Well, that and somehow or another I've just been oh, nice. I've just been a Steelers fan all along. Billy Beane for the Padres. How cool is that? I love that. Oh, sweet. Sweet little Padres hit. Yeah, fun. Fun with the Billy Beane. I think that's that is the first Billy Beane I've pulled out of archives as well. So we've pulled some, seems like there's some people we pulled fairly often. John Smiley, one of them, for the Pirates. We pulled him several times. And we pulled Bill Spaceman Lee several times. But but we've had some new ones tonight that we haven't had in our other ones. So that's always fun to get a different hit. I love that we got Billy Beane. There's Jacob Ellsbury, 275. That's our first blue border, too. There's Mr. Jeter. And that is, I don't think that's the case hit either. That's still yet a... Sometimes I have to do a double take to remember which one's the case hit, but pretty sure that's not it. Because there's two different ones. One of them is the one where he's leaping in the air. The other one is one where he's younger, but it's not that one, I don't think. I'll know it when I see it. Oh, and you know what else they announced this week? So, of course, you know already, obviously, there's Archives. That's what we're opening now. Then there's Archives Signature Series, which comes out later in the year, and it's Active Player Edition. So it's going to be all of our current players, and it is super, super short printed, apparently. Like, I tried to order it when the order window was still open even, and got very little, like about a fifth of what I asked to buy is what I was actually able to get. So as in virtually none. So it's going to be kind of hard to get the Active Player Edition, but now they've come out with another one. So there's Archives that we're doing now, Archives Signature Series Active Player Edition, which comes out later in the year. And then there's going to be Archives Signature Series Postseason. That's the one that they started taking orders for this week. And I think it is also going to be in fairly short supply relative to other releases. And it's going to be, of course, all about the postseason players. Retired, veteran, whatever, active too, I'm sure. Haven't seen the whole list of who's going to be in it yet, but it does look like there's going to be some pretty strong signatures in it. So, of course, I'll try to get a bunch of it, and they'll probably be like, no, you can have, you know, about like this time, a fifth of what you want. But we'll get some, for sure. Just a matter of how much, I don't know. Well, but the fun thing about Archive Signature Series, of course, is, you know, they're encased. The cards are encased. There's Clemente to 199 for the Pirates. I think it was Roberto Clemente Jr. that caught the ceremonial first pitch that went out at the Senators baseball game this week. Of course, you all know what happened there earlier in the week where the guy shot up some of the people at the Republican practice. So when they had the game, they had one of the officers who was injured throughout the first pitch, the ceremonial first pitch to start the game. And it was Roberto Clemente Jr. behind home plate that caught that, which I thought was nice. That's to 75 for the Jays. That was a shame what happened at that practice. I'm glad that more people were not injured. I think it sounds like there was the potential of it being far worse than what it was, and it was bad enough anyway. But thank goodness those Secret Service agents or officers or whoever that was were on the scene and able to get the guy down before he did more damage. There's another little Bryce Harper mini. If any of you like autographed memorabilia, do have a couple of different baseball jerseys coming up. I think maybe one of them ends on either Saturday or Sunday, and then I think the other one ends somewhere in the week. I've got a Hit Parade and Gold Rush, one of each. And I did get some of the Onyx. I do have some Onyx autographed baseballs, which I just haven't had time to list, the Preferred Players collection, so I've got to get those listed. But I also pre-ordered the Onyx Clubhouse collections, which is batting gloves, actual player-worn batting gloves, because I thought it seemed kind of cool. So we'll do some breaks of those when it comes out. There's another Tony Womack. So there's the Diamondbacks again. This one is to 150. I think the other one was unnumbered, but we will do a hits recap towards the end. So yeah, so I think the Onyx Clubhouse collection with the game-used batting gloves actually seems like it's pretty cool. So, I mean, I didn't go crazy. I didn't order a ton of it. I ordered, I guess, one case, which I don't remember how many boxes were in a case, but it wasn't very many, I don't think. But it says, you know, we'll have Aaron Judge and some of our other desirable players in there, so sounded like fun, seemed like fun. So I figured we'd give it a try. Sometimes I just decide what we're gonna open based on whether or not I think it seems like fun. If it's something you haven't ever seen before, you know. That is Chris Bryant to 25. That's our darker red border that I was talking about earlier for the Cubs. For the most part, I only find the dark red numbered to 25, I'd say once or twice per case in archives. I haven't really seen it an extraordinary amount. Oh, this guy goes to the Tigers, if I haven't said that already. He played with the Tigers. Tony Clark did for a number of years. So the Tony Clark heads off to Detroit in the break. Oh, there's Ivan Rodriguez mini. That might be the first time I've seen an Ivan Rodriguez mini. I don't really think I have seen one before. I may have and just not remembered it. Just didn't register, perhaps. That's always a possibility, for sure. Sometimes when I sort through a lot of base, it kind of, you know, you don't always notice all of them. There's a nice little Ron Cey for the Dodgers. We pulled a Ron Cey, maybe the last break we did. If not the last one, the one before. So that's always a fun one to get. Well, I think so anyway, because, you know, I remember Ron Cey. Oh, there was a, see, there's a Moncada in his White Sox uniform. Seems like we didn't find all of our Derek Jeters in that last one, so there may be one stuck in behind something, or maybe we did and I just don't remember pulling more than one out of that box. But anyway, if it is stuck behind something else, I will find it during the sort, so never worry. No worries. So this is the last box in this half case break. The other half of this case, which ends, I don't know, sometime soon, I think it's already listed, is the last of archives that I have, period. So we've got one box in this break and then one other 5-box break to do, and then archives will be done for 2017. Well, at least regular archives, not signature series, of course. That comes out down the road. Little Sandy Koufax mini. Oh, we found one of our signatures in, early again this time. Blah, 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 blah. Terry Mulholland. Terry Mulholland is our signature so far for the Phillies. Our first signature out of our last box. can't believe you guys were so quiet all night. Like, nobody has said anything in chat. That's so unusual. Usually at least somebody says something. Everybody must be multitasking. I'm excited that the NBA draft is right around the corner. You guys, you know, well, if you've done a break with me before, you know I'm kind of, I like all sports, but I particularly am interested in college basketball, so the draft is always of particular interest to me because I like to see where all the college kids go. And I like the NBA too, don't get me wrong, but just college ball is probably more interesting to me in terms of basketball. Whereas in football, I'm more about pro football. And baseball is kind of both. I like college baseball and MLB. So now, see, I said I hadn't seen another Rodriguez, and there's one right there. So I'm guessing I just didn't notice them when we had them before. Osuna for the Blue Jays to 199. I'm kind of, if you like, you're probably wondering why some of those go faster than others. I'm kind of trying to like give some of those an extra little slide there from the back to see if I can shake loose the Jeter parallels that are always stuck. There's a Lugo to 199. Or they're not parallels, they're retrospectives. They're inserts. The Jeter retrospective inserts, what I really mean to say. For the Cardinals to 25. So there's two of our bright red borders. And for the Mets, Cleon Jones is our, whoops, I was holding that too low, wasn't I? Cleon Jones is our hit, number 275. So that means the second half of this case has our case hit in it somewhere, because we did not pull that tonight. Our autograph case hit is somewhere in the second half of the case. And again, I don't know what I thought that was. Our Derek Jeter retrospective case hit, I think, is also going to be in the second back half of the case. I don't think we've seen that yet. And, yeah. And we didn't pull out any of our 2017 rookies tonight either, so I'm guessing that we will find some of those in the second half, too. I mean, there's never a guarantee, of course. You could get a whole case of all veteran and retired and Hall of Fame and things like that, but thus far my experience has been that there are 17 rookies in archives. I don't think we've opened any cases where we haven't pulled at least a couple of them. Excuse me, a couple of them. Some cases as many as 3 or 4. So I do think that we'll have some in the back half of this case. Speculation, of course, but that's what I think. And if you happen to jump in late, I did say earlier, I am expecting that these will ship out on Tuesday, and if I can get them to you sooner, I will. Justin Turner to 75. But my expectation at the moment is that everything from tonight is most likely to go on Tuesday. All right, so let me set these down the way here, and then we'll recap what we pulled tonight, our hits, and also we have our nightly random to do. And if you remember, I'm just going to run through the minis just because sometimes people are interested in them. What we're doing with the nightly random this month is the person that comes out of random is going to be entered into a customer appreciation break, which I anticipate being on July the 1st, unless it has to move for some reason or another. Again, all the light blue borders are to 75, the dark red borders are to 25, and what they call light red, which, you know, kind of looks a little bit more like peach, is to 199. So in that customer appreciation break, I will buy all of the products, and the people who are in the break via winning the nightly random, that's the only way to get in it, will have a chance then to win those hits. So I don't know if we'll do it as a hits draft. That's what I believe is our short print. Or if we will do it as, you know, let random do our hits. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet. And I never decide what product we're going to open until closer to time. But there's always fun stuff to be had, and it's free, so you can't go too wrong. Cleon Jones for the Mets is our first signature hit. It is numbered to 75. Then we have Terry Mulholland for the Phillies. Mulholland not numbered. Ron Cey for the Dodgers. Cey is not numbered. Womack for the Diamondbacks. I believe we have another one of his coming up in a minute. That one is to 150. 62 of 150 on the Womack. So that has a little, it has the same color border as the 199s on the non-signed, but when it's signed, apparently it's to 150. Nice little Billy Bean for the Padres. One of my favorite little pulls in there. Tony Pena for the Pirates. There's our other Womack for the D-backs. That one is not numbered. For the Rangers, Lenny Randle. For the Braves, Steve Avery. And then for the Jays. And that is this half case of 17 archives in a nutshell. So let's do our nightly random and see who's going to move on into a spot for our customer appreciation break. Give me 1 second here to get everything copied and pasted in there, and then we'll let random pick somebody out. I'll just scroll up through there so you can see everybody. Whoops, everybody is in there. And I leave all the stuff in there that says unpaid and no bids buyback and all that, just because it's just, you know, I cut and paste it directly. So I think it's just easier to do that. All right, so in we have Stang Lover 59. You are in, my friend. And I know that's one of the things you like, so I know this makes you happy that you're in there. All right, let me pull up one other thing here. Let's take a look at who is in up to this point. Obviously not counting tonight because I haven't put you in there yet tonight, Stephen, but you'll go in this little spot right here. So Lucky You is what we called it the last time we did one of these. So this is Lucky You Part 2. And so far, there's our list of winners that are in. And then, of course, we're adding Stang Lover 59 to that list from tonight. So you guys that are in, remember to come back on July 1st for the break. So that's it for tonight. Thank you. I appreciate everybody bidding with me, breaking with me, hanging out. So I hope to see you again on another break, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.